How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle Rowlett, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, ladies and gents, I thought we'd take a look at some more possible Hissuyan forms that we could get in the future going forward for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, as we know, the game already has loads of these confirmed, but I thought we'd take a look at a few more. You guys already know we got a bit of a series of these videos going on the channel, so if you want to check out the rest, I'm going to now be creating a playlist which you guys can watch. There's going to be a link to it down below, so let's get started right away, shall we? First up is this design right here by I Like Goblo, who created essentially a Hissuyan Throw. Now, Throw is a Pokemon that's kind of almost more or less forgotten. It's a Generation 5 Pokemon, and in this case, he's essentially changed it and added the Dark typing to its existing Fighting typing, right? Just slap that on there to make it a little bit different. As for his design, though, as you may notice, he's actually changed like the colors and inverted them from the white and like, you know, part of it being black to instead being like, you know, black with parts of white, but almost like more like this like rugged, more brutal design to it, giving me a bit of a feeling of like the Karate Kid, where you have the Cobra Kai versus, well, the Karate Kid, right, who has more like a subtle white color, you know, colored like outfit, with you have like the more like badass one with theirs instead. So yeah, basically you got that going on right there in terms of the design, but that's not the only one though. We also do have the Hissuyan Sock, which is made by Sketchy Sketches. This was a collaboration between the two of them, and he created essentially the same thing but for Sock, who's also a fighting Dark type in this case. So generally speaking, I love this design. I want to know your thoughts and opinions on it. Then we have I Like Goblo again. In this case, he put together a Hissuyan Rufflet. Now, this Rufflet here is sort of what he would assume the pre-evolution would look like for Braviary, like the Hissuyan Braviary in this case, which we know little about, right? We don't know a lot about like how this is going to work. Is there going to be a normal like Rufflet that's going to evolve into Hissuyan Braviary because of like the nature around it? And the same thing goes for Werdeer, right? Is there going to be a Stantler form that's brand new, or is this just a brand new evolution that is adapted to the nature around it as it evolves only, but prior to that, it's just a normal Rufflet? So we don't really know that yet, but I do like this design. It's cute. I like that its eyes are kind of hidden. Great design by I Like Goblo. Now, before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, here is a message from today's sponsor. With the qualifications for the World Cup underway in Europe, I thought it would only make sense to partner up with today's sponsor, Top 11. Now, Top 11 is a fantastic mobile game for all of you football fans out there. Top 11 is a free-to-play game available on iOS, Android, and on your web browsers. Now, what do you get to do in the game? Well, you get to act as a manager in the game and take charge of your kind of your own club and do things like signing players, running training, and also setting up formations to have your team in the ultimate position to win loads of trophies. But that's not all. You can also take on other players across the world and other managers to just take them on in competitions. You got 4 different competitions happening in, every Top 11 season. You got the League, the Cup, the Champions League, as well as the Super League. So hop on in, as there's loads for you and your friends to do, such as forming your own league if you want to, with your colleagues, your friends, even housemates, to compete against each other. Or if you want to create essentially an association with your friends, like a little group, and take on other groups of managers across the world. Either way, if you want to play Top 11, use our link in the description right now to go download it and install the game yourself and get started. So click the link down below, install the game right now, and join me as well as other Top 11 football managers on their football manager journey. Thank you to the sponsors, and let's get into the rest of the video. Next up is a design made by Goompy. Now, Goompy has created loads of amazing designs and concepts for what he sort of imagines could be a possible Hissuyan forms that we could see in Legends Arceus. And in this case, he put together a Hissuyan Wishy Washy. Now, Wishy Washy here, oh boy. So first of all, in the top left, you can see the solo form of it, like the actual form of it that's on its own, right? That's not like included with anything else, so to say. And this one looks pretty freaking awesome. But then you have the school form, which just looks incredible, with a little boat being destroyed by it at the bottom here. And it does have a description. They suddenly group and surface on calm nights, steering up a furious storm, to terrorize fishing boats. It's thought they seek to protect others from capture. They swim using whip-like tail motions, which have great destructive powers. Basically, these things are the boogeyman of the ocean, essentially, at this point. And as for the concept, yeah, essentially it does have like a bit of that Japanese like inspiration to it, and whatever that creepy monster is right there, I don't really know, man. That's like a weird little creature, but generally speaking, I love this one. It's a great design, and I would love to know what you guys think about this. I mean, Wishy Washy is one of those Pokemon that I just don't really think much about, but if it got a form, I wouldn't say no. Next has got to be this design here by Saped Art. This is specifically for a Saphirian Phalanx, which is essentially his own like regional form for Phalanx. And this one's got like, I guess more like a, like, I don't even know what to call it, like indigenous kind of vibe to it going on. They look pretty freaking awesome though, gotta be honest. The cute little guys just ready to go out for a battle essentially. But he also made another thing in here, which is another design for another Pokemon. This is for his Safarian Lilligant, and this one has got this like leaf that acts almost like a mask. I think it would be really cool. It gives this like kind of like goofy little fun vibe to it, and honestly Lilligant is just one of those like Pokemon that never gets enough attention, so I don't see why it shouldn't get some extra love. Next up is a design made by Solian. Solian is one of my favorite artists when it comes to Fakemon designs and stuff like that. Been following him for years now, and he created essentially what would be a ice type Scraggy, right? Essentially, what would it look like if it was ice type? And I think in this case, well, mainly just ice type. I'm not sure if he wanted to add anything else to it, but hey, what would a Scraggy look like if it was ice type? Well, it would look like it was freezing all the time, and it was really cold, and it's got a little snot coming out of its nose. Overall, really cute, and honestly, it would kind of fit well with, again, the cold nature of the, you know, Sinnoh region or Hisui region. It's cold in the top parts of it. It's generally more cold area, again, based on the real world equivalent of Hokkaido in Japan. So I think it'd be a cool extra little thingamajiggy to include there. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on it though. Next up is this Hissuyan Impidimp design made by Goompy. Goompy creates some of the best Hissuyan designs ever. Honestly, this one is bloody fantastic. It's a dark fighting type one, and here's how it sort of is described. These troublemakers like to sneak into empty homes and rearrange furniture. Well, I mean, that's kind of crazy of them, isn't it? Then it says, folktales about mischievous children turning into Impidimp as punishments were told to teach children to behave. Now, I think these would be cool. Impidimp is one of those Generation 8 Pokemon that was recently introduced, so it's unlikely, it's not super likely that these would be included. As for its design here, it seems to have gone for like a little bit of a kind of like Japanese kind of like demon type of vibe going for it. That's kind of what he seems to have been going for, so I'm a big fan of it. Then he also created a Hissuyan Morgram, which essentially it's the evolution, right? And in this case, this one again looks, it's kind of the same thing going on, right? That same vibe to it. Now it says here, incapable, of braiding their own hair, they beg unsuspecting humans to help, only to whip them with their new braid before running off. Are easily startled by the sounds of scattering objects, roasted beans especially. That's really random, but I guess roasted beans make them feel a certain way, but hey, it is what it is. And same thing with this one, the design, of course, coming from that like kind of Oni demons, right? Like the Oni demons from Japan, mixed with literally braids, like literally braided hair. So again, would love your thoughts on this one. So the last one is, well, a brand new evolution, and this one will be called Grimpact. Now, Grimpact is the final form of Hissuyan Impidimp. This was the final brand new evolution, brand new thingy. It would just work in a totally different way. But here's what it said about it specifically. By stifling their muscle fiber-like hairs, they can swing their braids like a club. Their tusks can get knocked out in fights, but they regrow quickly. They collect their loose tusks and embed them into their hair to strengthen their swings. The more tusks in a Grimpact's hair, the older, the more experienced, and more dangerous it is. Beware. So yes, these things would be dangerous. Same thing going on for the designs here. It's got kind of the Oni kind of design to it, especially an Oni here with a big old club boy. I don't know which specific one that is. I'm sorry. If you know more details about that, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. But basically, that's the inspiration, and that's pretty much the last one on this list. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, then drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe for future videos, and I freaking appreciate you guys' support. I'll see you all in the next one. Check out all the artists in the links in the description down below and answer our question of the day, which was mentioned at the start. Either way, that's it. See you next time. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.